may miss it. He may be out for a long time, and this will not be a good look for him. He's getting older. He's not going to be. He don't have much career if he's out that much longer. So hopefully it comes back negative and he's good to go. At least that's how I would see it. But Seth Rollins, I mean, there's no more to do with him as far as the world champion goes. There's no more to do with him. He's done everything he's could with this championship. I don't think there's anything else that can be said for him win his title. Not at all, not one bit. I mean, honestly, there's nothing more for him to say. He's done it all. He's put in the work. He's a workhorse. He's a fighting champion, like he always said. And like I said, it cannot be taken from him at all. Not at all. So the injury is just a blow. I know there was at first, and I know the sun was up during that match when he looked all upset and he was holding his knee. But we always thought it was storyline because they went off his back injury with Shinsuke Nakamura when he faced off against him. So it turns out that's not the whole case here. This is not at all. It's not a storyline. It's not anything. He really does have an injury. And like I said, they have to depend on wait back from his MRI results. We have to see if he's going to, be able to continue or you defend his belt. Because if he don't, he's going to be out for a good minute. It could be up to a year, like I said. But, it's just, like I said, it's sad, though. I hope Seth gets well if he has, or I don't think it's a minor injury. That's the thing. I don't think it's a minor injury. I don't see that happening at all. I mean, reports have said right here that he was legitimately injured and late in Raw main event against Jinder Mahal backstage update. Now, it also says right here that he suffered a legitimate injury to his left leg late in the Raw main event. And it said that the multiple PW sources say that he was held back and eventually put weight on it. He is walking on his own, but with a definite limp. He'll be further evaluated to determine the severity of the injury. And he looked worried as Raw ended and stood on one leg as the ref presented him with the WWE World Heavyweight title in the show. It wasn't clear where the injury happened, but began favorite after a dive to the ringside. See, all that high flying style, all that running around is catching up with him. He's been doing it for so many years. Another thing, this article says right here perfectly. He executed 7 more moves, including a pedigree and a stomp at the end of the match. It's those damn pedigrees he's always doing, and them pedigrees, it affects the knees. Don't believe me? Ask Triple H. She tore both quads during his career. He might have done more damage by continuing to wrestle past the initial injury, but it's a good sign he felt he could continue after the initial tweak or injury. But it's not a good look for Seth Rollins. It's not a good look at all. And he, like I said, if he is injured, depending on MRI results, he may have to be forced to vacate the world title. I know Seth Rollins fans don't like that, but that's what it's come down to. You don't have to give up that belt. That's the whole truth of the matter is. If he has to give up the belt, then we could be crowned a new world champion. Royal Rumble, a tournament. Like I said, there's 2 parts to this. I will discuss more about this, but he may be forced to vacate the belt. There's no other way around it. You cannot hold the belt longer than 30 days, I believe they used to say. If you're not defending it, you don't defend within 30 days or such, you will have to be forced to vacate the championship, and there will be a new world heavyweight champion. So I know also if he is forced to vacate the world title, not only that, he's going to miss WrestleMania and SummerSlam. He's out for almost a year. We have to think about that too. He may be missing both of those shows, and those are 2 of the big 5. Now they used to call Big 4. Now it's Big 5 if you want to add Money in the Bank. So that may be the thing here too. He may have to miss that show as well. But also, I mean, thing about it is with Seth Rollins, he was, like I said, if you look at this here, when he was given the title, this is what the article saying, he looked upset. He looked very concerned, and that is the shop right there That is the where he looked upset and concerned, and he looked like man, I hurt myself. I mean, it should be good. You just defended your world title. You're still champion, you know. But he may have to miss WrestleMania and SummerSlam, unfortunately. But I hope that does not happen. But it may very well may happen. Like I said, we're so used to him going off the back injury storyline, but this is not a storyline. This is a real deal. And like I said, Seth Rollins, he competed every PLE last year. He's not had a break. He defended 45 times last year. 45 times last year. At the championship 234 days. That's a lot of days. I mean, if he had it for another 100 plus days, he would have had it for a year. May would make it a year that he'd been a world heavyweight champion. And he's never held on to the title that long. Seth Rollins kind of been pretty much a transitional champion. He's never been a long-term champion except for his first title run back in 2015. That's the last time I remember holding the belt close to this long. And also, speaking of which, of his 2015 run when he was the Architect, he was injured. History repeats itself. He was injured back then when he held on to the championship, and it forced him to vacate the belt. People don't remember that, but I remember that. He had to vacate the championship because of that. This is when he was the Architect and everything. So people forgot about that. That's what he had to do. He was the Architect. He had to give up the belt, and he injured himself. He was world champion at that time. Like I said, if you guys go forward, let me see. This is when he was the Architect. This is when he was with Eminem Security, Jamie Noble, and Joey Mercury. And he was hurt then, and he hurt himself during that time as well. That's the thing about it. He's been hurt before. He's been injuring his knee, and he was out for a long time then. And so this is nothing new. I mean, no, he hurt himself. This is the article here about it. On November 4th, 2015, the Architect tore the ACL, MCL, and medial meniscus in his knee. Knee. This unfortunate incident happened while he was trying to do a sunset flip powerbomb on Kane during a live event. The surgery rendered him out of action for almost 6 to 9 months, and he had to vacate the world title, at that time the WWE Championship, not this particular world title, as a new title. So this is nothing new of Seth Rollins. He has a history of this. He's been doing this before. So this is nothing new to him. He's been hurt before. He had to vacate the belt, and he got hurt before. I mean, it's just not a good look for him to continue to get hurt, and that is definitely something we don't want. If you guys remember that he injured himself at a house show, was even televised. Let's see. You guys give me a second here. Let's see what happened. So that happened. That happened to him before. He had to vacate the title. I know he was upset, and this happened during the whole match. And then he knew he was out, and he had to vacate the belt. Question is, he had to get surgery and everything. Will history repeat himself? Will history repeat itself with Seth Rollins? Will he have to take time off again? Will he have to be out for another 6 to 9 months? Will he be out up to a year? That's the question here with Seth Rollins, because he's had a history of being hurt. Now, since that knee injury back in 2015, he hasn't had no major injuries, and that was 9 years ago, and he's not hurt until now. So it's just a sad thing. Like I said, I wish he gets well. Hope he gets better. Hopefully it's not a serious injury. Maybe it's a minor injury, but it didn't look too good the way he looked on his face. And as a competitor wrestler for any sport, you know that If you know when you tweet something or you injure yourself, you hurt something, you know if it's not good or not. That's the thing. So it's just not a good look for Seth Rollins right now. Not a good look at all. I don't know what's going to happen, but like I said, I mean, if he does have to be hurt, I mean, if he is hurt, what more can he do? What more can he do at this point in his career if he's out? I mean, fact of the matter is, what else does Seth have to prove? He's done so much in his career. You know, he was the inaugural NXT champion. Came to the main roster with the Shield 2012. Been on main roster ever since. We're in 2024. Been on main roster for 12 years. He's been multiple-time world champion. He's been inaugural world heavyweight champion, 2-time WWE champion, 2-time Universal champion, 2014 Money in the Bank winner, cashed in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 31, heist of the century as they call it, the best cash in ever. Grand Slam champion, Triple Crown champion, Intercontinental United States champion, tag team champion, etc., etc., etc. He's done a lot in his career. You know, he has a long list career, a bona fide future Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. But the thing about it is, if he's out for almost a year, should he retire to injury? That's the $1 million question. Because remember, Randy Orton just went through this with his back. He had back fusion surgery. Doctors tell him he should call it quits. Randy said, no, I'm going to keep going. Will the same news be told to Seth Rollins if he has a real injury? That's the question about it. Will the same news be told to him? And it's a possibility that may happen. So he's been, like I said, he's been a great, great competitor. I'm not a big fan of his champion because I think he's born as a champion, except when he's a heel in his first run with the 2015 version, the Architect champion. I think he's a very boring champion. He brings no value to a title. I think it's a transitional champion or a long, boring champion like he is right now currently. He doesn't really elevate anyone in feuds. He didn't do nothing for Finn Balor, nothing for Shinsuke Nakamura, nothing for anybody. I mean, he don't really elevate guys, put them to the next level, you know, or with guys to defeat him. He does not really do much for that matter. I don't see that happening with Seth. He don't really boost anyone up, you know, but like I said, it's a possibility that history may repeat itself. It may be a possibility. But like I said before, I give him his due. 45 title visits in 2023. Defend the belt 45 times. You know, house shows, PLEs, Monday Night Raws, you name it. You know, we can sit here and talk about how Roman never defended the title, but Roman ain't hurt either. Roman didn't get no injury. Not no major ones. And Roman had the belt way before Seth. He defended against a lot of people. So we can't really say that Roman didn't do no his championship run. Is it time for Roman to lose the belt at his particular point after 3 years? Yes, absolutely. But we can't say he never defended against nobody. He defended against everybody. That's why it's time for him to lose the belt. But meanwhile, let's get back to Seth Rollins. He may be forced to retire if he has a real serious injury. I mean, he does the high flying moves. I know he did one move with Jinder Mahal. He was at the apron, and he always jumps with the knee hitting. Doing that for so many years, so many times, can't put wear and tear on your body. And as he's getting older, he's 30, 37, he needs to change his style. You know, I see guys do the high flying styles, they get older, and they tend to get more injuries. Look at Kofi Kingston, for example. He just came back from a bad ankle injury. Same with R-Truth. He came back from an injury because the high flying does not work as you get older. You keep doing it, you're going to eventually get hurt. And I see that's what's going on with Seth Rollins right now. He's going to eventually get himself hurt, and it's going to lead to an injury. So that's what we don't want with Seth Rollins. But like I said, he's been champ 234 days. He won the title at Night of Champions. He's done everything he's could to do. But he may have to, if not retire, at least be a part-timer. He may have to be a part-timer. Because it is the longest world title in his career, as I stated. he may have to be a part timer if he don't retire. He may not have to. He may have to do that because so he, I know he's a family man. He's married to Becky Lynch. He has a daughter named Rox. He had her that same episode of Monday Night Raw at the beginning of the show. Maybe he should slow it down or change. I know he's not going to change wrestling style because he's been wrestling this way for too long. So I don't see that happening at all. So yes, Seth Rollins, he needs to do something different. Does he keep wrestling style, whether he's injured or not? It could lead to a much worse injury, maybe even worse than this injury. And he will have to give up the world title. Now, what they do with the world title, we don't know. And that'll be my part 2 of that. But Seth Rollins not doing himself no favors wrestling this style. He's not doing himself any kind of favors whatsoever. He's making it worse and worse on his own body. He's putting wear and tear on his body, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse as time goes along. It's not going to get any better at all, for that matter. Not one bit. So I think he just needs to do something different with his style. And like I said, there's nobody else for him to face for the world title besides CM Punk. Nobody else. Nobody else for him to face right now. He needs to slow down and maybe just let someone else have the reign of the title. Salute to you, Brew Leon's Good Bread. Thanks for coming out. But he needs to do something different. Seth Rollins, I mean, even before this World Heavyweight Championship run, remember, he had a small run with the United States champion. So he has been a workhorse, no doubt, since all of last year, even late 2022. He's on Monday Night Raw, the #1 flagship show, and also it's a possibility Monday Night Raw may be moved to a new network. They may not be a USA network. I've heard Amazon, I've heard other stuff. I heard could be another network, or they stay with USA. They're going to want to see a brand new champion. And let's be honest here, Seth Rollins is not a money draw champion. He's not a draw champion. He's not Roman Reigns. He's not Brock Lesnar. He's certainly not John Cena. He's not a draw champion anyway. He just never was. He's always been a mediocre transitional champion. So him having the belt 234 days, that's a blessing. Honestly, he should be thanking WWE, kissing their feet for letting him have a title, not only having the inaugural championship, the first person to hold it, but to hold it this long at 234 days. But he needs to do something because it looks like it's going to be a forced to retirement. Look at it. He's in the air doing the stomp. I mean, I could tell. And honestly,